Hello everyone, this is Mountain Rain. The word sovereignty, and what is sovereignty? In this generation of people, and it has happened many times in the past, there has been a forgetfulness of what sovereignty is. And if you was to look in your dictionary, or anywhere online, what is the first word and the first explanation that comes up for sovereignty? And you will notice that one of the first explanations is sovereignty is the authority of a government to govern itself. The authority of a government to govern itself. Sovereignty. And the interesting thing about that is that pops up in so many areas. Or a king to govern. But when I was growing up, I remember it being taught in school that sovereignty is the ability for a person to govern oneself. And I really had a difficult time finding that explanation and the meaning of that word put in that way. Is it up to a government to govern us? Or is it up to ourselves to govern ourselves in a way that benefits ourselves and others around us? So, right now, it's really interesting because in these last few days, and it's been happening to a lot of us, we haven't been getting our comments in our comment section on YouTube, and in no way do I want to get my channel canceled, and I want to abide by the rules, and I feel like I have been abiding by the rules of YouTube. And throughout all of this, they do police us in many ways on this channel. Freedom of speech right now is one of those things that people are kind of trying to be careful of. And then I ask myself, why? I'm not doing anything wrong on this channel. People have always been sovereign individuals to decide what is good and not good for themselves. I'm not hurting anybody by what I'm saying. But I think I'm getting too close, as many of us are, to being a sovereign individual. Sovereignty in this day and age is a very touchy subject. We can see it in our government, we can see it in politics, we can see it in the media. Freedom of speech is always free to everyone, and it should be. It's in our Constitution of the United States. But things can be misinterpreted, and they can be perceived in so many different ways, as I always talk about on my channel. So how a person perceives something can define how they want to make a law. But it's up to the people to be sovereign in themselves and decide, is this going to hurt me as a sovereign individual? Or should I just let it be your free will to do with what you please? And this is where our government and our laws are getting so strict in defining how a sovereign individual should be. And as we look out into this government right now and what is happening in 2020, this is exactly where we are going. We are, as a people, as the sovereign individuals that we are, And I'm going to put aside that we are spiritual, beautiful spiritual beings, born into a land to be indoctrinated into its culture. That is in itself beside the point. We are sovereign within this world. You can even talk to somebody that is an atheist. They will tell you they are sovereign in themselves. So we need to look at this right now in 2020. What we are looking at in this awakening process is that we are more than just an asset of the government. We are more than an asset of a continent, of a world. There is something in each and every one of us that tells us we are more than what we are. And if we are not free individuals to think how we want to think, we are like tigers trapped in a cage. And we will strike out eventually if we're not free. And I'm just saying that to the effect that each of us have gifts within us to share. And if those gifts are smothered for the betterment of humanity, then life becomes very futile for many of us. We are beautiful, powerful, spiritual beings. One of the main reasons we came here, many of us that recall our beautiful origins, was to free us. And some of us here are known as the ground crew, you might say, sent here to remind us that we are going to get out of this mess. And it is a mess. It's been going on for thousands of years. Thousands upon thousands of years. And this isn't the first time it's happened. It's happened in many ways. But it's time to stop all this nonsense. We can't control each other like this. We can't control each other to the point of one very small percentage of mankind getting everything they want out of this social structure and this matter that we live in, and the rest of humanity suffering because of their greed. It's got to stop. It has to stop. No more suffering. I love us too much. We must become sovereign individuals of a spiritual realm. In this, there is no fear of death. I myself know that death doesn't exist. So where does my sovereignty lie, and why would I even want it? Because I know from the deepest core of my being that there is more than what this world is offering. Because it's basically throwing scraps out to us. And we are working our asses off to support a government. This government does not run us. We run the government. We are sovereign individuals came to this land to start a government to support us. We don't support the government. And a lot of people are afraid to speak out. Why? Because you're afraid? Afraid of what? Speak out. Say something. Do what it takes. Sorry, if this channel gets taken off, I'll start another one somewhere else. Where there's a will, there's a way. Always. Always. We can't bow down to the fear that we can't speak out because our government's going to do something, or this channel is going to do something, or somebody's going to do something to shut me up. What are you going to do, kill me? I'll come back again. That's how sovereign I am. To know that there is more than what we've been told. There's a way to live and be happy and content in your life without fearing what's going to happen around you. And if everything around you is just going to collapse and leave you in the dust. It doesn't have to be that way. This world has the ability to take care of its people. There are certain individuals in this world that choose not to take care of the world. Everything is very compartmentalized in this world. And the people that are at the top, and the people that are getting all the money and controlling everything around them, and compartmentalizing everything around them, are going to try to keep us in the dark for as long as they can. So within your space, within your world, you may feel like you have no power. But all the power in the world lies in you as an individual. And it lies in your speech, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself, and what you believe in that change this world. For the better, or what you may consider for the worst. And love is the answer. Love is the most strongest power there is. They want to make you believe. I say they. They is always the word, isn't it? And then you say, who is they? You can think that there is some power in this world is preventing us from attaining peace, from attaining joy and love within every individual on this earth. And there is. And we will conquer it. Believe in love. If there's anything in this world, believe in love. And the reason I say this is because if you believe in that, in sovereignty, no matter what happens around you or to you, you will always feel whole within yourself. And you will not feel a detachment from the very thing that makes you a whole, beautiful individual within yourself. I love you all. I had to bring this up because I do feel there's going to be some discord among this channel, and a little bit of upheaval, rule changes, We're going to see it. We're going to see it. We just have to keep trucking along. We have to keep believing in what is right. And I believe in us so much. I believe in it. And I believe in us. I love you. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.